Guys, what is going on? It's good to see you all, guys. Happy Monday, guys. Last week I was on vacation. I did the live stream for the Carmelo Anthony case on Saturday because that was just, biting my butt all week long. Guys, here we are back to our regularly scheduled programming, right, guys? I put this on the Discord and on the channel, guys. I was giving you guys the preview. We have an honored guest today, guys. For all you guys who know him, you guys showed that you're really, really excited. And for all you guys who don't know him, guys, you're in for a real treat with Mr. Paul Elam. Let's go, guys. Give him a round of applause. I just want to say, Paul, thank you for being here. I was going back over.
Thank you for having me.
I was going back over your content, and I realized that I used to watch you way, way, way back in the day. I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, actually, right? Because I have some of your videos saved in my watch for later. You know what I mean? And then I went to your page. I'm like, that's right. I used to watch Paul all the time, right? So I just want to say thank you for being here. A lot of my subscribers are really, really excited, and I think it's an interesting time to talk to someone like you who's been around for a long time. And
now you're making me feel old. But that's okay because I am old.
But the thing is you now if I'm not correct, you coined the term MGTOW, correct?
No, I did not. I get to, because I've been doing this for so long, I often get credited with things I didn't do.
Okay.
But no, that term was definitely something that popped up on my radar 10 or 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, I wish I had the honors of being able to say that I coined it, but I did not.
So, guys, if you can, as you come in, guys, hit the like button, and then go to Paul's channel, please, and please drop him a sub because he's doing big things over here. He just did a live stream with It's Complicated, who's one of my favorite channels. And then he also did an interview with Jeff, who's a friend of the channel. So, guys, please go over there, drop him a sub. And yeah, so, well, if you want to just take a moment to just introduce yourself and talk about how you kind of got into this this space that we're in. So,
well, sure. As you have up on the screen so nicely, my name's Paul Elam. I'm a men's advocate. I've been doing this for a little over 20 years now, actually going back to 1993. I've been advocating for men. It was a very small scale, one-on-one sort of activity, writing letters to the editor, that sort of thing. Back in the day, with the advent of the modern internet, though, I quickly recognized that this was how the real discussion between men was going to start. The internet was going to do it. So I got on there back in the early days of that in the old Usenet discussion groups and connected with men, turned around and sought out some platforms for my writing. And I found one in a place called Men's News Daily, which was the original online hub for men's movement issues, albeit in a more sort of conservative format, a lot of which I didn't agree with. Not that I'm a liberal, but the take of tradcons didn't really hang around my neck very well. It felt like an anchor. So I did that until I developed my own website, A Voice for Men. That quickly became the online hub of men's rights activism, and it's still up today. I've been going at it, producing content for ever since I started A Voice for Men back in 2009. I've been going after content production. I took a little break for a while, but I'm back now with a weekly podcast on Wednesday nights called Repairing the Manosphere, where I attempt to address a lot of the issues in the modern manosphere, things that I see that are positives for men and some that are absolute negatives. And that's where I'm at right now, trying to get a message out there of men's dignity, self-respect, independence, and freedom.
So you made an excellent point there in that, talking about the current state of the manosphere and how, some of it's good, but a lot of it's bad. And I think that I watched your live stream with Jeff St. James. You made some excellent points about how the current manosphere, there's part of it that centers women, right? How it's like it doesn't encourage men to put their own self-respect and their own destiny and their own interests first. It's just basically saying, do this for the sake of women, and that's where we don't want to go. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of
that's not exactly a new message. Men for generations have been hearing, do this for the sake of women. That's all they've ever heard. And so a lot of the manosphere just took the blue pill, called it red, but went right back to pleasing women and to trying to do everything they could to appeal to them. I don't think that message is resonating much longer. I think the manosphere is failing of a sort, and I think it's eventually in the form that we have it now, it's going to play out. There's a lot of burnout with this message about, here, take the red pill. You can be free and independent. But by the way, here's what you got to do to attract women.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a message that's going to last that long.
Well, I got in trouble. I don't want to say in trouble, but some of the first pushback that I've got on my channel was they're, fresh and fit. They're specifically like, oh, you got to be with 50 women first. I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on a second. Cause I don't recommend men or women sleep around, because look, I'm from Seattle. So do the whole free love thing. And I know guys that have got health reasons, STDs, all this other stuff, but you're basically putting women and sex and stuff as your central theme of your life. It just doesn't make it
well,
sense.
Yeah. And in addition to that, I have a private counseling coaching service, and I've been working with men for 40 years. And I can tell you that the greatest majority of those men ended up coming to me because they got one woman that wrecked their life.
Yes.
And so it's like, oh, you need 50? With all respect to Fresh and Fit, I'm calling BS on that. Look, the system is set up to destroy men in their relationships with women. And so the solution, I don't care who you are, the solution is not go find 50 women. Sorry about that, but it's not.
Well, just my origin story really quick, and then I have a couple questions. So I'm from woke liberal Seattle, Washington, right? And it's the worst. So I live in the South now, and I can say that the West Coast is fall off into the ocean at this point, But I was just the nice guy who would get walked over in high school. So I would get 4s, 5s, the mid chicks, but I was friends, quote unquote, with the hot girls. So they would always talk to me about the nugs they were having sex with, right?
Oh, so you were the unpaid therapist.
Oh, yes, guys, it was bad. It was bad. But then in college, I was like, you know what? Why don't I be the guy that the hot girls complain about? So I changed my attitude towards dealing with women, but I still had the blue pill. Well, if I'm with a woman, then I want her to be my equal and be a PhD and all this other foolishness. And what did it for me, Paul, was I took a gender roles and society class. This is 2002 when I was in sophomore in college. Now, it was a proto gender studies class. Okay.
Sure.
And the teacher was a man bun wearing just total soy boy. Yeah. And we had all these hippie chicks in the class. And I noticed the way they spoke about men is the same way that the white sheet wearing dudes talked about black people back in the day.
There's very little difference between the two.
The same dehumanizing language. It was the same othering. It was literally the same disgusting language. And yet somehow it's okay to talk about men this way, but not especially you white guys, right? Especially white males, but it's all men. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, something, when I really, really realized something's wrong. And what really sealed the deal, there was one guy, Shane. He was the one conservative guy. He was a rugby player, 6'6", tattoos. He's in the class talking about women need to be in the kitchen, and all these feminists are all screaming, "You motherfucker, screw you!" And I saw him my senior year, Paul, and I said, "Shane, what's up, dude? That class must have been rough." He was like, "Are you kidding? I was smashing like 14 chicks in that class."
Of course he was.
Of course. So in the class, in front of all the girls, they were hating on him, but they would go back to his dorm room and have sex with the guy. So that's when I realized that this is all one big psyop, right? This is all one big psyop, and all it is a small group of men, of powerful men, that are using women and government to redistribute wealth and time from the rest of us men to themselves. So,
and this is one area, I think, where, look, if there was ever an area where black men and white men had something in common to talk about, this is absolutely it, because y'all's money's getting taken too.
Yes.
And it's being redistributed to women just like ours. The same hate applies there. The same demonization applies there, across the board. This is one area where we're on equal footing.
Yes. And guys, go to a voiceformen.com, guys, and go and check out Paul's website. And one of the mods drop his channel again, guys. Let's go over there, show him some support. So kind of piggybacking off of what we just said, what do you think of the current state of the manosphere as it is right now? And I know that the term manosphere has been completely, with that stupid documentary Netflix did, and it's just the term's all over the place, right? There's so much baggage and so much nebulousness. Like, can you define the manosphere and let us know what you think the current state of the manosphere is?
Well, I've got mixed feelings about that. I've maintained and still do that what the manosphere offers, as messed up as it is sometimes, as gynocentric as the manosphere is, at least it's promoting an honest conversation about women, women's nature, men's nature, the reality on the ground. You told the story about the guy that was pissing off all the feminists in a pre-gender studies class, yet they were lined up at his dorm room door waiting to get in his bed. That reality is something that before the internet was never discussed anywhere. So this is giving men some basic information, and I think it's good. I don't care if it's pickup artistry or game or even the tradcon scene. There is good information in there, and it's growing in that way, in that the mentality is shifting in men in ways we've never seen before. You see that reflected in the number of young men that are just walking away from the dating scene because it's too disgusting. On the other side of that, most of the manosphere, I would say 90% of it, is just simping. It's dressed up as something else. I mean, they put on a red pill outfit and they talk about, tossing negs and push-pull game, and here's how you get women attracted to you. But that conversation is just a dressed-up version of the conversation men have been having for hundreds of years. How do we appeal to women? How do we make them smile? How do we make them want us? And, of course, that leads a lot of men into disaster. So while I appreciate the manosphere being there to give men a different perspective, a different view of women, and most importantly, a very different view of themselves, which is critical, I think a lot of that opportunity is squandered on pickup tactics and game and people pushing legal marriage, which I'm a big advocate against. So it's a great informationally, but when you look at the character of the people pushing the message, I find a lot to be lacking.
Yes. Well, I always say that people get it wrong when I say red pill. is descriptive, and the prescriptors are MGTOW, black pill, etc. But I've yet to see anyone disprove the descriptive part. They talk about who says it and how it's said, but I've never seen any of these feminists, any of these tradcons be able to tear down the descriptive part of the red pill, because it's all true.
And that applies to me too. I can't tear it down. The descriptive part is bone on accurate. Absolutely. But the prescriptive part is to do more of what hurts you in so many cases. It's not about, when we started A Voice for Men, and I say we because it wasn't just me, it was a lot of people. The whole idea was to take the descriptive part and say, now, how can I apply this to a better life for myself? What are the things that I can do to have a better life? And it was automatically assumed from the beginning that chasing skirts wasn't a part of that picture, that, that there was something else there for men to start focusing on their self-respect, on their dignity, on not being used and exploited in the modern relationship model of not chasing women around, looking for validation, looking for identity in a woman's eyes. That's what we were talking about. But, selling sex, which is what most of the manosphere does, they sell sex. Gosh, that's not new. People have been using sex to sell stuff forever. This goes back to Charles Atlas ads on the back of comic books in the 1930s. It's nothing new. It's just sort of repackaged stuff that boils down to, I have no core identity. I'm not even interested in core identity. I need to find my identity in the approval of women, or in financial success, or in status some way. My version of the red pill,
supercars, or all this other crap.
Yes, of course, the supercars, everything, that all very masculine stuff. But as a form of identity, it's external. It's the manosphere is not talking about men's internal worlds, and it's not talking about their values and their self-respect. It's talking about winning by a very, very loose definition of winning. Because like I said, a lot of these guys that won, they end up coming to me because their lives are in turmoil. They can't see their kids. They're being cleaned out financially and even having their freedom taken from them. So that just isn't a path that I think is viable for men. And I think eventually the men in the manosphere are going to start wising up to this and start looking for a better, different way. And my work is dedicated to trying to shine a light on that.
Well, you use the word self-respect a lot for men. I've watched live streams, watched videos, and you really, really push for men to have self-respect. And I remember Kevin Samuels, he had said that when he would talk to these men who are like CEOs and COOs, and these guys are titans of industry, and their wives would treat them like they were on fries at McDonald's. No self-respect. Here you have a guy who's in charge of hundreds of thousands of people, billions of dollars, but then goes home and has to hide in the closet to watch a baseball game. You know what I mean? Like,
and let me offer some gentle pushback on that. He doesn't have to. He's volunteering for it. And this is the thing: the manosphere, as it stands now, is not really offering any kind of real alternative to happy wife, happy life.
True.
It's the tradcons are selling that same garbage that they've always sold, that if you just roll up your sleeves, you work hard. So what if it takes you away from home for 12 hours a day? Just keep doing it. Keep your shoulder to the wheel and make that woman smile. It's time to think of a better way.
Yes, I agree. I have another. So do you think that like our space do you think it's mainstream yet, quote unquote mainstream, or can it ever go mainstream?
There's two ways to look at that. The mainstream of the manosphere is mainstream in that it's all about women. I mean, you look at our economy, it's all about selling to women. Women control like 85% of liquidable income. They do almost all the consumer spending. Real estate agents will tell you that you're pitching the woman. You don't have to worry about what the guy wants. You got to make that woman like the house.
Mhm.
This is what drives our culture, and the manosphere feeds right into that. So, yeah, under the veneer of being red pill, the veneer of being in charge and powerful, and everything that's supposed to come with you when you have power with women. Underneath that, you've got mainstream America doing what it's always done, which is basically kneeling at the altar of womanhood, making that the higher power, and yet that's mainstream. The I think the core, the smaller, I call it the 5% of the 5%. We're a tiny group of guys that are rethinking this and really pushing for self-respect and dignity and boundaries and real leadership, not fake leadership in their relationships. That part of it will never be mainstream until I think after we've had some sort of social collapse that
Yes.
requires real masculinity to rebuild society. Then you're going to see a different take. But until then, I don't think that the actual red pill, which is what I'm calling this, I don't think it goes mainstream at all. I think it'll be a small group of men who have the foresight and the insight and the intelligence and the desire for self-respect enough that they're going to practice something different than what the mainstream tells them to.
I'm so glad you said that because I have my own little take on MGTOW, and it's called men minding their own business, right? MMTOB, right?
Yep.
If that chick's broken down on the side of the road, I'm sorry, keep on driving.
Yep.
These dating apps, all this guys, mind your own business, because if someone's taking something for granted, what do? You take it away from them. And men are being taken for granted. And we've done everything else other than just check out, and men are checking out en masse. And I always say there's the two questions, they're the two bells that can't be unrung. Men, for the first time, are asking, what am I getting out of keeping the society going and having kids? I would say so imagine there's a cowboy and a horse, and they're riding through Arizona in the Old West. The cowboy needs the horse because the horse, he can't walk far enough, but the horse, it doesn't need the cowboy. It can find water, it can eat. What if the horse says, wait a minute, what am I getting out of having this cowboy on my back? And the cowboy can't articulate. He bucks the cowboy off and takes off. The cowboy's cooked. Men are the horse and women are the cowboy.
Yep.
Women can't articulate what is it doing us to pack mule for them. And then the other one is, people used to say, Paul, you can't talk about women. You can't talk about whatever. Men, you can't talk about said group. And now men are saying, or else what?
Exactly. And this is also why you've got guys now who I read something just the other day that 1 in 3 men said they would hesitate to give a woman CPR.
Yes.
Who was in cardiac arrest because of fear of accusations. You have men all across the country that avoid mentoring women in the workplace. They're following Mike Pence rules. Don't be alone with a woman for any reason. This is, I think, part of the help. MGTOW is part of the help. Part of the problem is that this society feeds women's narcissism a constant diet of affirmation and approval.
Yes.
It shovels it at them. Yes, women are the greatest. They have the hardest jobs. They have to work harder than men. They've always been more capable.
But they've invented everything too. Why was invented by women and Hidden Figures? There was no white dudes sending white dudes to the moon. It was all black women, and the pyramids were built by black people, and the samurai were black women. It's like, what are you talking about? People believe this. They really, 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 really do. So
yeah, I just saw that recently in a Twitter exchange. I guess I should say X, formerly known as Twitter, but
I call it
there
Twitter.
was a woman came into a comment thread about basic male and female work distribution and how many men are in the dangerous professions, which is, of course, the lion's share of all the dangerous professions are held by men, and wanted to point out how women invented whiteout, as though that was relevant to the discussion. I was like, well, yeah, and
the best one is, well, it doesn't matter that such and such invented said invention. He was birthed by a woman, so a woman is 10 times more important.
Yes, and it did not take 10 or 15 or 20 men to develop and maintain the infrastructure that allowed that birth.
Yes.
Women just did it all on their own. As a matter of fact, they probably didn't even need a man to get pregnant.
Oh, we were holding them back. We were holding them back the whole time. And women would build freaking a base on the moon if it wasn't for us evil men,
They would have done that in 1850 if we hadn't held them back.
Guys, hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you all being here. So definitions. If we can run down the list, I think that we went over red pill, but people throw these definitions around, these words around a lot. And I still find people who are new to my channel, people who are in the comments, even people who have been in the space for a little while, they kind of get these terms confused. So do you want to kind of define like what you believe MGTOW, red pill, black pill, incel, tradcons, and gynocentrism is?
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to do that, but I'll pre-advise the audience to take my definition with a grain of salt, because the moment I say what MGTOW is, there's going to be a couple of guys in the comments say, no, it's not, it's this. And that's sort of the nature of the Manosphere too. So I offer these as opinion, not rooted in any scientific fact. And if you disagree with me, I'm fine with that. This is how I interpret. MGTOW is really simple. It's what the same thing. They're men going in a different direction. Some of them are men that continue to have women in their lives, that date, but they do so under a different rules. Some of them are men that swear off women altogether. You might call some of those guys black pill, but it's basically men who are checking out of a gynocentric ethic. They're saying, I'm not going to let my world revolve around women anymore. And whether they date women, occasionally have sexual relations with women, or totally swear them off, in my opinion, all those guys can be considered MGTOW if they've rejected the gynocentric ethic. Awesome. And they're making a public declaration, although there's, I think, millions of men that have gone MGTOW and have never heard the word. Yeah. They are men who are checking out of all this stuff. You see it in the stats on young men who are walking away from dating. They're getting their opinion out there. The fact that their MGTOW is out there, but it's not something they've necessarily heard of. We have such a god-awful, messed up gender zeitgeist going on. The power imbalance between men and women is so terrible. The deck is stacked so bad that men are finally en masse saying, no thanks. I'm not doing this. And this will help curb women's narcissism. When they can no longer extract resources from men just with using a little bit of an approval or a pat on the head and continue to trash them, that is going to force some women to wake up. And I think that we're on the way to that happening, but again, only after a little bit of social collapse. Red pill, anybody can define it the way they want. For me, red pill is a man who is also checked out of the gynocentric ethic and lives his life according to a set of values that maintain his dignity, his self-respect. Here we are on that word again. I think it's a crucial word for men, mainly because the romantic ethic with women, the first casualty is a man's self-respect. He has to lower himself in order to get her approval. And I think that the men who say, you know what, not doing that anymore. If she wants to be with me, she's going to have to step up. That's red pill.
Guys, could you just drop a 1 in this chat if you agree with what Paul just said about men lowering ourselves in the romantic love situation?
And if you
Man,
can't
oh
drop a
man.
one, if you can't drop a one on that, man, you're not being honest with yourself. How many men do you know that sacrifice their money, their income, anything, trying to please a woman who if they've got a case of the hots for a woman, and you get guys trying to talk them out of it, they'll fist fight with you.
Yes.
I mean,
I love her, man.
Yes,
you can't talk about her like that, man.
Cupcake would never do anything bad to me. She's different. Oh,
you know
yeah.
what
How many
I always
times
say
have
about
you
those
had
guys,
that?
Paul?
Here I come to save the day.
Shades back there. A big shout out to Andy Kaufman. God rest his soul.
I can save her, man.
Yes, I can save her. I'm going to be her hero. And of course, what women do frequently in their first early in pair bonding is they throw out their problems du jour to the men, and the guy says, "Never fear, my darling, I will solve that for you. Here's my wallet. Here's my back. Here's my sweat and blood.
Here's my
Let me do whatever it takes." And boy, she knows she's got you then. And if
Ask
guys
Your Brother
can't see that,
podcast is in the house. Jeff St. James
hey,
is in
Jeff.
the house. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you.
Big shout out to Jeff. Love that
Big
guy,
shout
man.
out to him. Mods, please drop Jeff's channel in the chat. And guys, please go over to Paul's channel too. Once again, he is cooking over here. Lots of ones. But yes,
I'll take them. I'm glad to see them. Let's roll on to Black Pill. Black Pill is like the screw it all pill. I'm done with everything, done with society. And unfortunately, I mean, done with women, done with society, done with the dating apps, done with any participation in this game. I am totally going on my way, and the world can screw itself. To me, that's Black Pill. And for some guys, that's a good way to go. Some guys shouldn't be in relationships, and some guys need to go that path in life. But the other side of the Black Pill is that it does result in a lot of social isolation. Being alone in the world for a man makes you weird. It does. It gives you a distorted worldview. You can become engrossed in your own resentments about women, your own resentments about blue pill life and about society. And I get it. The resentments are earned honestly. They're absolutely real, but they are not the be all and end all of life. And so the one main issue I have with guys that have gone totally dark, totally black pill, is that for many of them, it's going to result in emotional and psychological atrophy. And it's not healthy in that regard. Most men need, you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we need social affiliation, social contact. We need a sense of belonging in the world with other people. Now, like I said, there may be one guy in 100, one guy in 1,000 that can live in a cave and with a bottle of wine and he'll be just happy. He is not the rule. He is very much the infinitesimal exception to the rule. And that sort of life is not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, I always think about the World War I, the 2 or 3 guys in the lookout post in no man's land, right? They're surrounded by all this death and destruction and rats and bodies and the shells but there's 3 of them, they're socializing, they're still finding ways to crack jokes and find humor and things. That's what helps us get through these things. And I think that's like when you said how the Red Pill and the Manosphere online gives us this space. That's why the space is so important. But it's still, like you had said, like an actual important thing to be part of a space where you can, find some balance, find some support,
That gives me a great opportunity to plug XY Crew, which you can find on my website at paulelam.com. There's a link to it on the header, but we hold near daily, 5 days a week. We have online Zoom meetings for guys just hanging out and talking to each other. It's not what you call group therapy. It's not a quote unquote support group. It's a network of friends who make contact with each other regularly. And we've been doing this for 6 years now, and all we've seen, I mean, every once in a while it doesn't work out for a guy, that's fine. But for the guys who stay connected to each other, we visit each other, we travel the world together. We just did Thailand last year. XY Crew is a place where men improve their mental health, and they don't do it with psychobabble or therapy. They do it by being connected to like-minded men who don't think they're crazy because they say some true things about men and women.
Awesome. Zinzu with the $20. Thank you, my friend. He's an awesome guest. Paul has helped many men. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Appreciate that. I think we had a couple more terms, and then we can move on. Let me just pull this up. And guys, once again, go to Paul's website. Check his channel out. I'd appreciate that. Oh, I minimized this. Hold on one second. And once again, guys, thanks for being here on a Monday. Thanks for your patience last week while I was taking some time off. You know what I mean? And here we are. So I think the final two was incel tradcons and gynocentrism.
Yes,
the big ones. The big ones.
Incel. I'm going to upset some of the incels. I mean, to me, this is absolutely the worst philosophy that the Manosphere has to offer.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
First and foremost, nobody with $50 in their pocket is an incel. They're voluntary. And I mean, if the idea is about celibacy, which incel means involuntary celibate, I'm not buying that. Those guys can get on a plane and go to Thailand. There is sexual relations available to them. But the thing that I hate about the incel moniker more than anything else, it is literally men who have said, I'm going to name myself based on women's rejection of me.
Yes.
That's going to be my identity as a reject. And it's no wonder that a lot of hostility comes out of that group too. I mean, when you identify as a victim in that way, when you look at it as I am summed up by the fact that women don't want me, man, what kind of attitude is that about yourself?
It's entitlement, Paul. It's entitlement. I can't stand. Okay, a lot of women use the words entitled and deserve. As a man, if you use those terms for anything other than common courtesy, because guys, respect is earned. No one deserves respect, right?
Yep.
Respect is earned. Men, incels, to me, they're the worst because they feel like they're entitled to or they deserve, not just want women, they deserve them. It's pathetic.
They bellyache about not being wanted.
Time.
I mean, I'm just an average looking guy. I've had plenty of times in my life where I wasn't scoring and other times where I was more successful, but I never sat around and whined like women owed me something that they didn't want to give me. It's just, you're right. It is entitlement. And you see, I've read through their forums and I've had conversations with them, and that entitlement idea is deeply embedded in incel philosophy. Is that somehow they're owed something? Man, sorry, but grow up and take responsibility for your life. Quit identifying as a reject. How is anybody supposed to be respectful of or attracted toward someone who identifies as a reject? Look, it doesn't work. I know there's a lot of misinformation about women's nature and what have you, and I think too much emphasis is placed on evopsych and biodeterminism about women's nature. Most of these problems, I think, are cultural, but just framing yourself as a helpless victim, real hobbies indeed, sir. I agree totally. Something to invest in other than this belly aching notion of not being wanted. It's like, give me a break. Nobody's going to hold much sympathy for that.
Then the issue too is that's another big disagreement that I have with some of the larger red pill guys. So you got to have money, bro. You got to have money. It's like, if that was the case, that you had to have money to have women, these single moms would have all got pregnant by lawyers and doctors and rogue scholars. And think about the bums that get these women pregnant. They don't have any money. What are you talking about?
Yeah, when the father of your child has a teardrop tattooed on the side of his face, you're probably not getting to the cream of the crop guys to get you pregnant. Absolutely right. I mean, again, I was probably really hard on the incel guys. But I agree with Mr. Smith there. They lack an essential masculine ego because the thing is, you don't need money. You don't. There's a lot you don't need. But what men need to realize is that what they don't have to have in life is a woman.
Yes. Yes.
You can make it just fine in life. You can love your life, not identify as a victim, go out and accomplish great things, work on your self-improvement, and replace that stuff. You can even replace it with God if you're so inclined. But putting the women in this position of you hold power over my identity, I think is sort of puke-worthy.
But it's kind of a catch-22 because they say women are trash and they're the scum beneath my feet. Yet they have so much power that they keep my entire life in the toilet. It's like you can't have it both ways here. You just can't. So.
Well, they reflect. I think the incels reflect the dichotomy of thought that we see in feminists who are both empowered and weak victims at the same time.
Empowered victims, yes.
And it's like it's a mirror of feminist victim ideology. I'm not buying it at all. I feel for the guys. I probably shouldn't, rank on them as hard as I do. But the fact of the matter is that their problems are self-generated. They're not generated by women. They're generated by their own perception of themselves.
Well, I say that, because I've had a few women. So I have female subscribers who agree, like Julia and Red Door. Hi, you guys are in the chat. But there are women who come to my channel. I'm like, you're so hard on women. I'm 10 times harder on lazy men, lazy, coward men and incels. I'm 10 times harder on them because I don't really have any expectations out of women, but I expect men to at least try because no one's coming to save you. You know what I'm saying? No one's coming to
Absolutely. And I get the same problem, AJ. I get women all the time oh, you're so hard on women. You say terrible things about women. And they don't notice that for every one thing I say, a critical observation of women, I've made 9 more about men every time. And we're talking about some of that now, but they tune that stuff out because, of course, criticism of men is allowable. It's normal and acceptable, but a man criticize a woman? Oh my God, what kind of man does that?
I know, right?
How dare you?
Exactly. You misogynist. You hate women. No, I don't hate women. I understand women, and sometimes it looks like hatred, but it's still just understanding.
Tradcons. This is a big one. Tradcons. Oh boy, I'm waiting to hear you talk about this one because to me, I've done multiple streams on this and I run a poll every time about who is the biggest threat to just men in general, right? In the West. And people think it's feminists, people think it's the male feminists, people think it's whatever. By the time that my stream is done, the poll always goes towards Tradcons.
And your audience is correct.
Let's go.
Absolutely correct. I mean, and we got to clarify what Tradcon is.
Yes, please.
I mean, one of the things we got to understand about Tradcon is it doesn't necessarily describe every so-called traditional conservative. But there is a subset of men, a lot of them coming out of the church, or at least they have religiously oriented podcasts, but they basically advocate for the wrong tradition. They don't even understand the history of marriage and marital relationships and the pair bonding that humans have undergone throughout human history. They're not aware that until about 200 years ago, we didn't have this one-way hypergamy street with women. Women had to show up with a dowry, something tangible. They had to bring assets into a marriage, and they were expected to work. It isn't like now. We live in a push-button world. People used to wash clothes on rocks by the river.
Yeah.
but before we had washing machines, and women did a lot of that. They worked hard. They had to bring value. And women without dowries or any value to bring a marriage ended up being old spinsters because nobody wanted to marry them. That was the human tradition going back tens of thousands of years. Then we introduced this romantic model that became popularized after the Industrial Revolution, where people started marrying based on feelings and based on making mama happy and elevating women in importance above men. And the tradcons think that by pushing that model, they're actually pushing tradition. What they're pushing is the new kid on the block that is already showing itself to fail.
Yes.
And it doesn't work. And so that's why you have content creators out there that are pushing things like, oh, just, don't care if she has, 3 baby daddies and a bunch of tattoos and her hair's green and she's got a nose ring. I heard one of them say, just marry her and turn her into a Catholic.
Yeah. Right.
That is psychotic thinking. It is absolutely psychotic to think that way. And tradcons are horrible at it. They think that the wedding ceremony is the mark of success. They don't want to talk about divorce or family law or the courts or bias against men institutionally or any of that stuff, because it gets in the way of that wedding ceremony and getting the man locked down into a role where he's basically a pack animal. You mentioned the horse earlier. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't want that horse to be able to leave. They want him locked into it until he dies. Yes. That's what tradcons are pushing, and I think it's sick and corrupt. And I agree with your audience. They are the most dangerous group to men, especially at a time where more and more young men looking at this horrible gender world that we've created are turning to the church for answers.
Yes.
And they go into the church, and the church says, we got your answer. You see that little shop-worn girl down on that pew? Yeah. You need to go chat her up.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 bastard kids. The final resting place for whores is in the church now.
Yes. It is.
And the final form.
And the church is inviting them in because they can't get anybody else to show up.
That's facts, yeah.
Man, spare me the tradcons. These guys are cancer on relationships between men and women. And at least I'll say for the incels, they're only hurting themselves.
It's the pseudo righteousness. The only a man of God would take on this woman and her bastard children. You know what I mean? A man of God would marry this woman even though she's got the herp derp. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yep.
No.
No is right. And I think the game is getting pulled off of that too. I do sense a sea change out here in the manosphere. It's small right now, but I think it's going to grow, where all of this blue pill simping and slave labor that they're trying to promote, all the garbage and the rescuing of broken women who turn out to be broken wives.
Yes.
And end up cleaning guys out. That stuff
in ruining the children too.
Yes. Oh,
raising
absolutely.
Future carjackers of America. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And not just future carjackers, but future ODs.
Yes.
Future young men and women who basically die of their own failures. And this is what we're getting from them. It's not working. We need an absolute prohibition on inviting the state into your life. One of the things that probably should be on this list is the state.
Yeah.
And what it's doing. And I love the way tradcons are always preaching about small government. We need the government out of our lives. We need the government out of our homes. We need small government that doesn't interfere with us. Oh, but by the way, when you marry that hoe over there, you need to make it official with the state, so you bring them right into the bedroom with you.
Yes,
biggest hypocrites in the world.
I was going to say, have a 3-way with the government.
Oh yeah, that's helped a lot of men.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question for you, Paul. Just really, really, really fast. Do you sense the jealousy that the tradcons have at our space? Because they want the male, they want the advice for men. They want that label. They want that role so bad, and it irks them so much that there's platforms like yours and mine, etc. They can't stand it. They cannot stand it. The Matt Walshes, the Michael Knowles, the Charlie Kirks, they can't stand the fact that you have a platform, that I have a platform, and that men turn to us. How dare men turn to our space?
Yep, that's because tradcons are basically a bunch of jackasses sitting around bragging to each other about how much weight they can carry on their backs.
That's facts. That's facts, guys. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate that, guys. Hit the super chat button. Now, gynocentrism. Now, I know that there was someone had went viral. I think it was Adam Carolla. Did you see when he was on Trigonometry?
Oh, yes.
He was talking about gynofascism. So I guess
yes.
Gynocentrism, gynofascism. If you want to have the floor.
Well, I mean, it's important to understand gynocentrism, to me, is an offshoot of romantic chivalry. We didn't have a gynocentric world until we started kneeling for women's approval and acceptance. It didn't happen. Again, like I said, throughout human history, women had burdens placed on them. We called it matrimony instead of patrimony because it was a time in a woman's life where she was forced to put aside childish ways and come in as an adult to a relationship. Romance took that away. It removed all obligation from women. They got approval for merely existing. That was the only thing they needed to bring, was maybe a sufficient beauty in order to hypnotize a man. And that was the only thing they really needed to contribute to a relationship. Well, we can see how well that worked, and it resulted in this romantic expression ended up expressed in our laws. No-fault divorce and assumed mother custody is a part of gynocentrism, which is stemming directly from the romantic ethic. And if there was one thing I could impart on men is, and I understand why you use the word gynocentrism here, but I believe we need to start talking a little bit less about gynocentrism and more about romantic chivalry. That's the driving force behind this. This is where we get all gynocentric law, is that it's our job to slay the dragon on women's behalf and to prove our value as men by doing that. And what do we do now? We slay the dragon of their personal accountability. Yeah. When accountability comes to call for having children out of wedlock, for living the life of a slut, of running around and bedding down 1,000 men before they're 25. When the accountability comes from that, we got the tradcons running in to say, oh, she's saved. It's different now. We're going to rescue her from that. That is rooted in romantic chivalry. And we just call it gynocentrism. But we got to stop saving women from their own choices. And right now, we spend something like $421 billion annually on entitlement spending for women that has destroyed families, many of them in minority communities. And it is a totally destructive way to go. But here we are doing it.
Crazy. Well, I would say that it's funny that women naturally seek comfort, and then men, we conquer things to make things comfortable for women historically. But somehow we've decided to put the people who want comfort in charge instead of the ones that are trying to knock the forest down to make the comfort. That doesn't make any sense. How are you going to have the person who's never struggled be in charge of making things better when they've never struggled? It makes no sense.
I think it was Voltaire that said that if you want to know who has the power, just look at who you can't criticize. I would also add to that, maybe the person with the power is the one the guys are kneeling to. Maybe that person has power. And you're absolutely right. We have put the dependents in charge of everything instead of the people who produce, who provide, who protect, who do all these things that are supposedly traditional male roles, we've disempowered them and put the children in charge of everything, and look at the outcome.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to watch more than 5 minutes of a news podcast to know that this stuff is not working.
So we have a question here from Cat Wags, longtime supporter of the channel, and another a woman who supported me, who has her head on straight. You know what I'm saying? She says, do you recommend an alternative to legal marriage, or just leaving women alone entirely?
For me, I mean, I'm not in the advice business for a lot of guys, but I appreciate the great question. And I answered it in my own life, was to live with my wife. She is not my legal wife. I won't get legally married again. I learned from my mistakes. Don't get legally married. So we just left the state out of the arrangement, and we've been together 24 years now. And neither one of us are planning on going anywhere. It's a good, stable, solid relationship, and I didn't need the state involved.
Yeah,
and I tell men all the time that if she insists on involving the state, that is telling you directly, I insist on putting your neck on the chopping block as a condition to be with me.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So if you want to leave women alone, fine. If you want to be with a woman, fine. The only thing I suggest, don't bring the state into the equation. And by the way, there's not a jurisdiction in the United States where you can't do this legally. Even in the most liberal states with the most crazy divorce policies, if you intend to not be legally married, you don't have to be. Every jurisdiction, this requirement by churches and by society, you got to make it legal, you got to put a ring on it. No, I ditched the ring too. I never bought her a ring, and I never will. There's going to be no symbology that I'm owned. And I don't want the state anywhere near my bedroom. And it's worked out really well.
This leads us back to those TradCons, though, because they push this more than anyone else. They're the every kiss begins with K goofballs. You know what I mean? More
Absolutely.
Than anyone else. And they have a Bible and the wings of righteousness they think they're soaring over all of us with. And it's an absolute joke.
I brought this up on the talk I had with Jeff, I believe, the same thing. Charlie Kirk, and look, don't get me wrong, I admire a lot about Charlie Kirk, but he was a big simp, total simp.
Yes.
He was out there telling guys, man, until she's on Easy Street, you don't get a thing. You don't get a dime for yourself. You don't get anything. Man, what a self-debasing philosophy about connecting with another human being. Absolutely sick.
And it plays right into all, like I said, the corporations, the politicians, the churches, just redistributing wealth from the rest of us men to themselves. I know that I don't have you for much longer, but really quick, if you could give, and I know that you said you don't give advice, right? I know, but I noticed there's two kind of places. Can you give advice for these men that are in their late 20s, right? These are guys that have just graduated from law school, medical school, they're electricians, and they got that first, they started their own business, or the guys in their late 20s who get that first big money raise, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're making decent money. What advice do you have for those guys? Because that's when a lot of guys go wrong. They either marry some skank, or they knock some broad up, or I don't know what, but that 27 to about 31, what advice do you have for those guys?
Well, I will give advice on that, honestly, because it's generic. I'm talking to that whole age demographic is, one, don't let your early success and go to your head and start thinking it means more than it does. Your life is a lot longer than that. You have money to worry about down the road. Doesn't matter how well you're doing now. And if you screw it up by getting tangled up with the state in a contract with a woman, you're literally setting it up to lose half of everything, and probably more than that. I don't recommend getting married at this time, the best advice I can give to men in that age group is to build your empire, enjoy women if you want to, but do not make yourself a wallet in a woman's life.
Let's go.
That is horrible, horrible way to approach this. And any woman worth her salt will not want you to make yourself her wallet. And that rules out a whole lot of women. So, but don't let the fear of that stop you. I dropped maybe 25 women in a row, or they dropped me by telling them that if I had $100 million, I wouldn't finance your life. And sure enough, that ran a bunch of them off.
Ran them off.
But eventually,
time.
I met one that it didn't run off, who actually understood, who was raised by a good father and had a strong work ethic and understood that she had to bring something to the table. But I never would have got there if I would have just taken based on looks. And a lot of these women I ran off, some of them were fine as they could be. But if I had based my intentions with them on their looks, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing. I would have ended up destroying myself again.
Yeah. Wow. Do you have time for one more?
Yeah,
one more.
Sure do.
So I think that your analytics and mine are the same. There's a lot of guys out there who are in there, I want to say, older millennials to Gen X, the whole space of Gen X. Guys 38 to 55, divorced, just newly divorced. I had a live stream a week and a half ago. So a guy called in. He just got cooked and divorced. What advice do you have for a guy who, got took? He's in his parents' basement on a futon because his house is gone. He can't see his kids. And now he's turned on and he sees your channel, my channel, and he realizes, what advice do you have for that middle-aged guy?
That's even easier advice to give than it is for the younger age group. One, the first piece of advice is own your mistakes. If you're sitting there playing this video in your head over and over again, look at what she did. Why did she do this? Why did she do that? Look, you picked her. You got to own that. And now you've been cleaned out. So my advice in that case, stock up on ramen, on mac and cheese dinners, and roll up your sleeves and get back to work of putting your life back together.
Let's go. Yeah.
Without
good advice. Yeah.
Without planning on, because look, I've talked to plenty of guys that got wiped out in a divorce, and within a year they were engaged to marry somebody else. It's like, so this isn't, just soft pedal the device. Men have this romantic fantasy that they're not complete unless they have this adoring woman who's with them all the time. And look, you need to stay alone until you figure out you're in good company. And you need to take care of your life to the extent that you actually are willing to protect it, even from a woman that you pair bond with. That means no state contract, no, I'll get married, but I'll have a strong prenup. Man, they throw them out like toilet paper. Don't go that direction at all. Don't invite the state to come back in and rob you again. It's real common sense. The state was the one that did all this on behalf of your ex. Yes. Took your children away, took your money away, took your home away. Don't do that again. It's like trying to talk to men about this sometimes is so frustrating, because they have this model in their head that this is just what they're supposed to do. Well, guess what? It's 2026. We have new information. We have a new world. This is not 1956 anymore or 1946. Start waking up and realize the world that you're living in and act accordingly. And then don't turn around and say, oh, I trusted her, but she screwed me over. No, you didn't trust yourself. And so I'm a big believer in no victims, just volunteers. You're in trouble with a woman, it goes back to your decisions you made to pair bond with her, regardless of how wrong she was. I know the allegations are false. A lot of guys get lied about. I know the courts are unfair. I get all that. I'm not saying that you created all that or that you volunteered for the elements of our court system and society that are evil. But you see this evil going on around you every day. And if your decision is, I'm going to go participate in that, man, just don't do it. Take responsibility for protecting your own life. And if it means you're alone, then it means you're alone.
Yeah.
I love my wife. I wouldn't want to be with anybody else, but I wake up every day prepared to go it alone if things go south. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah. And she knows that. And I'm fine. I mean, she's fine with it. Guess what? We have a mutually respectful relationship. So I'm just saying there's ways to do this that are better than the Hollywood script circa 1950. Men need to start waking up and going for it.
There's one thing that I heard, and I'll leave it here too, guys. If you're getting divorced, guys, that woman is your enemy now.
Yes.
Okay. You're He-Man, she's Skeletor. You're Optimus Prime, she's Megatron. Okay. You're Batman, she's the Joker. Guys, I just don't want her to. No, the moment she filed those papers, guys, I'm talking. This is the battle of the song. I'm serious, guys. This is not a game here. So many guys, they capitulate to all these crazy demands and let their ex lie and take and take and take. You guys, it's war. You need to see her as the enemy. All the men that I know who won and divorced, they took on an adversarial position the moment that divorce started. The moment it started.
And look at all the men. I tell you, the very frustrating thing is how many men I've talked to that are going through divorce and they come up with this idiotic line. Well, if I'm accommodating and fair to her, she'll return that and be fair to me. No, she won't. She will not. She will take what you give her and then take more, because that's what the system is lined up to do. This whole mentality, this is why men get flattened in divorce so many times. They also think, well, I've got the truth on my side. I'll go into that family court and tell the truth and the judge will rule in my favor. No, he won't.
Yeah, he won't.
He will crush you and laugh while he's doing it. You got to understand what you're up against, but your worst enemy in almost every case is going to be the man himself, not willing to practice self-care, self-protection. And I agree with you entirely, AJ. If you're in a divorce with somebody and you're not smart enough to regard them as an enemy, then please don't blame them for what they do.
Awesome. Well, I know that we've kept you for longer than we've needed to, but Paul,
that's okay. It's been a great conversation. I really enjoyed it, AJ.
Thank you so much for being here. I mean, everyone in the chat is just loved having you here. Guys, please go to Paul's channel, mods. Drop the link. We actually have it up here. Guys, go over to his channel, show some love. Paul, when is your podcast? That's a live you do?
It is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays, and on this Wednesday I will have Pearl Davis.
Awesome. And then guys, go to A Voice for Men. This is his website. And guys, I actually might check out the XY crew. That actually sounds really.
You'd be most welcome there. And I have to say, though, that the Voice for Men website, I turned the reins of that over several years ago to Robert Brockway out of Australia, but it's still running. I've got too many other things to do than to run that website.
Well, hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And once again, thank you for advocating for us men for as long as you have. You know, not trying to date you and say you're old, but what
I plan on doing it until I'm a lot older.
Yeah, is you've been basically ice skating uphill for the last however many years, doing the good again, but with this, the open misandry, the gynocracy. But what I'm saying is I'm uncharacteristically optimistic, but look at Gen Z. Gen Z men are not having it. They're not. They're more conservative than ever. Unfortunately, they're running towards the church more. But
that's okay. The church will run them right back up.
Right back to us. But millennial men, 64 to 70% claim to be feminists. Gen Z are the opposite. They're less than 40%. So I have hope and saying more and more men are checking out and doing the one thing that the society is scared of the most, and that's just checking out. Just saying, you know what, to hell with this. That's what they fear most, more than anything else, is that men won't answer the call. So,
well, something's happening out there, and I do share some of your optimism, and I hope you're absolutely right, because it needs to happen.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks so much for having me on.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
So, guys, that was Paul Elam, man. Awesome. Guys, thanks for all the super chats. I didn't get a chance to read them all because I only had an hour, but I'll read them here in a second. Guys, here, I'll drop the link for anyone who wants to come on up. There you go. Guys, hit the StreamYard link. Come on up. We can have a chat about what we just talked about. And yeah, guys, see, it's some of the, okay. The way that Paul articulates points, it's kind of difficult. Imagine some idiot 304 trying to debate someone like Paul and disprove his points. It's not going to happen. It's just not. It's not. You know what I mean? People can always talk about how we say things and who's saying it, but they can never, ever disprove what we say. You know what I mean? And guys, Paul's been at this for a long time, and he's reasonable. That was one of the best parts about this conversation, is him talking a lot about self-respect, right? Men need to have self-respect. Guys, please understand, you are you're worth it, guys. You are. You can't be one of these incels, these goofballs that are sitting in your own poop, eating Cheetos, and women don't want to have sex with me, right? Please. But guys, this is the best time ever to be a bachelor. This is the cheapest time ever to be a bachelor, right? This is one of the first times where you could be an above average earner and be left the hell alone. All right, let's look at these super chats here, guys. Marky Mark says, please be aware that where common law marriage exists and arrangements like Paul's will be handled like a typical divorce after a certain amount of time. So avoiding state involvement doesn't always save it. Yeah, guys, he is right. Because there are places like Canada where it's even worse. In Canada, a woman can move a guy in, and after like 2 or 3 years, they're common law. And guys, he has to pay child support for her kids. So there are single moms that'll do this to guys and have like 3 or 4 guys paying child support on their kids. Red Door says, thanks, Paul. He's great. As an Indigenous woman who's been married for 50 years, I think that it's important to educate men and that she's teaching her 3 grandsons to concentrate on themselves. Let me see. Stanton says he's 45. He joined Paul's channel years ago, and see the two of us talking is bigger than the World Cup. Hey, thanks, man. Toolable with the $5. Thank you. Secret with the $2. I appreciate that.
We're out here building a new nation for black people. It's time for you to start paying some dues, nigga. I ain't giving you shit.
Listen to what Paul says. Do not give these slurs shiznit.
Yeah, nothing. Henry, thanks for handing out memberships, my brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, that was a great interview. You know, I appreciate Paul for actually staying the couple minutes. He said he had a hard stop in an hour, but I think that the conversation went so well that he chose to bless us with more of his time, because he's a busy guy, man. He really is. But guys, the fact that he's been advocating for men for almost 30 years, I mean, literally ice skating uphill. You know what I'm saying? He was writing letters, like handwritten letters, to these senators and congressmen and all this other stuff advocating for men. And you guys know that the moment that you advocate for men, you are public enemy number one. Men are the only group where you can completely trash and there's no repercussions whatsoever. What a joke.
And it's because of our nature. And AJ, it's because of our nature.
Yeah.
Because men, we don't sit around, the table, rubbing on our bussies, crying, woe is me, and being and moaning. No, we get out, we roll up our sleeves, and we do work.
Yeah.
And they take advantage of it. They take advantage of our nature to provide, to protect, to provision.
Yeah. And the ones who don't.
Yeah, this is an amazing time in history.
Yeah, the ones who don't, the ones who sit around.
This is an amazing time.
Are those incels? And guys, I don't really talk about incels much because they're just so pathetic. They really are. Anyways, Seagate, you were saying?
Yeah, this is an amazing time in history. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you, Seagrip.
This is an amazing time in history because now we have circles. Kevin Sam used to say all the time, he would ask the question, how many daytime talk shows or major outlets are there advocating for the wants, the needs, the desires, the thoughts, the feelings of men? None. And for the first time, social media has given us an outlet to where we can share our experiences and where the younger men can learn from the older men.
Yeah.
It's an amazing time.
Yeah, so there was a couple of points that he made that I didn't have time to ask him about, but because his concept of how romantic love has cooked relationships and cooked society is one of the greatest kind of topics he touches on, because he's basically saying that from going to the actual practical marriage of the last 3,000 or 4,000 years, had this romantic marriage where the guy gets down on one knee and basically is a slave. You know what I'm saying? The romantic love means that you're going to be Forrest Gump and Jenny's going to be out there being a total slore, right? Getting AIDS. And then by the time she's all used up, Forrest is going to take her into the big house. And it's crazy. This is absolutely insane.
And so check this out, guys. You only have 100% of time and effort at any given time, right? And because of what Paul Elam's talked about, so if you go into a marriage with utility saying, look, man, we're going to get married, we're going to have kids, it frees up more of the guy's time to be able to focus on what he needs to focus on. This whole romantic love thing, guys are having to spend so much of their time trying to make their woman feel some type of way about him, feel romantic, feel in the mood. All that's time that he can be spending towards, working, opening up a business, getting ahead in life. Mm-hmm. It's just like people talk about, oh yeah, men are 30% more involved in their children's lives than they were 50 years ago. Yeah, and those, not a good thing. yeah, and those guys are making 30% less money.
Facts.
Honestly.
Yeah. So he had made a point on Jeff St. James's live. He was saying that what the number one cause of divorce is, guys?
Marriage.
Yeah, men getting married. If you don't want to get divorced, don't get married. And he's right. He's completely right. Guys, less and less men are getting married. Less and less men are. And guys, once again, us men are doing just fine. And one of the worst things is these, married men earn more money. Well, they have to, you dunce. They have to because they have mouths to. You absolute
And,
moron.
and multiple studies have showed that the average woman spends $562,000 more dollars in her life than the average man does. How do you think she pulls that off? She spends her money, your money, and the government's money. That's how she pulls that off.
Yep. Ridiculous. And then guys, people sure do get mad at anyone who says that they don't like Charlie Kirk. Guys, I have no problem with Charlie Kirk except for the TradCon part. Okay? Guys, you can't trust these TradCons as far as you can throw them. And I'm glad that Paul had said that he agrees that TradCons are the biggest threat to men. They're the biggest threat. More than feminists, more than male feminists, more than anything else. TradCons are the biggest threat to us men. And hey, Henry, thanks for handing out some more memberships, man. I appreciate that.
Charlie Kirk used to be.
Fun. And then Sweet Auntie, thanks for handing out memberships. What are you saying?
Charlie Kirk would always be like, "Oh, my wife is hot. I wish I was married and my wife is hot." Dude, his wife went to ASU, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
She was a virgin, please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
And she was a pageant. And she was a pageant queen, so she started getting ran through by the football team and the freaking NBA team, and the basketball team in college, and then probably got dug out on the casting couch on the freaking pageant circuit.
Because we all know how those wannabes.
Is she dating a brother now?
Erica Kirk?
Is she?
I don't know.
Yeah, I swore I saw something photos. I think somehow on my feed it came out that she was dating some brother now. I could be wrong. I just saw something along my feed along that line.
Yeah, and she's moved on already.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, do you mind if I share something personal? So I turned 22. I turned 55 next week, the 22nd. And listening to Paul today, I couldn't help but think, because I came close to marriage 3 times. And as I think about those potential marriages, those engagements, those potential marriages, I struggle wondering, what was I really benefit? What would I really benefited by marrying these women? I think about how much I would have lost
secret,
if I did.
Guys, this was secret. Dodging bullets, man.
Insane. No, but in all honesty, and the funny thing about it is the 3 times I was engaged, and the 4 times that I almost got, and the 3 times I was officially engaged, and the 1 time I came close, I actually deal with 3 of these women on social media, friends, Facebook, whatever the case may be, and all I could think about is, thank God, oh my God, I dodged such an effing bullet.
Yeah,
I would have lost I've lost a lot going through and forth with relationships. I would have lost so much more, and I struggled to think, what benefit and value can I get from a state-sponsored ceremony that I can't get through dating and just hanging out or slanging and banging?
Yeah,
and at least now, I can always exercise my 180-degree option with no fuss, no muss.
Yeah, just get it. This thing, guys. Well, Patrice O'Neal said it the best. And women used to be this way because they say women are made to be seen, not heard. Guys want a woman around. Just be over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be in the other room. And it's true. It's absolutely true. But yeah, guys, that was a great interview, man. Paul, you really does make a lot of excellent points. And guys, I would really want to see some dunderhead, some pander bear, right? One of these women or God, Mother Earth, try and debate Paul. He would just destroy them, dude. Destroy them. And once again, I was watching his content, and he's one of those. He's just a regular smegular dude, just like the rest of us. He's not talking about Bugattis and supercars and friggin' Dubai, or he argues for the everyman, just like we do here, guys. You know, all of us are just regular guys. Even us, a good chunk of us are very successful guys. We have the viewpoint of the everyday man, the guy who get up, wash his balls, eat breakfast, go to work, go home, and try and have some type of fun before he goes to sleep every night. You know what I'm saying? That's the average guy's existence.
One of the things I really appreciated about your interview with Paul, one of the things I appreciate about your interview with Paul is how you had a slide with all the different terms, MGTOW, Redpill. And I want to say I appreciated listening to his description, because he did, when you talk about MGTOW and Redpill, they listening to other people, it comes across as, we hate women, or, we can't get laid, and that's why we have all this, animosity towards them. No, I love women. I appreciate women, but I also know who they are, and I accept them for what they are, and I deal with them on my terms. So yes, I'm MGTOW, I'm Redpill, but I love women. I want to be with women. I enjoy their company, but I don't need them to define my life.
Yeah. One of the best things Myron ever said is you can either understand women or love women. You can't do both.
Yep. And guys, once again, self-respect is the number one word that I heard Paul use that I don't hear a lot of other Manosphere content creators use, and I think that's a good chunk of his platform. Is saying, guys, have some respect for yourself, of the love of God. And you're gonna get played by some blue-haired single mom with the herp derp. Have you no self-respect? You're gonna get cooked. You're gonna marry someone who that your family hates, who is using you to prove to the all-knowing they that you're a good guy. Have some self-respect. You know what I'm saying? Guys, a man who respects himself and his time, because what's the one thing that you can't get back?
It's time.
You don't respect your own time enough to spend it doing something constructive, than chasing skirt, than chasing some guys, here, what percentage of Western women do you think are actually worth chasing nowadays?
0.304.
Yeah, guys, honestly, that's how it works. This is why you see, yes, once again, this is how little self-respect Western men have. I've told you guys, I know men who are very successful whose wives won't give them children. That means that they're men who are like titans of industry. These are men that are successful, powerful men who can't even get a cooperative wife and children. Now, guys, why is it you go to Brazil and you have Julio cutting mangoes and pineapples at a street vendor stand? He can have a wife and children. Well, why is it that you go to Vietnam and you have Dao Wang and he's in the rice paddies all day long, but he comes home to a wife and children who respect him? And yet us men here, who are the most successful, competitive, ambitious men on earth, can't get that. And Pearl Davis put the best. She said it used to be back in the day, the expectation was a woman was a virgin. Now you have men that are making top 1%, top 0.1%. They are expected to just and they're okay with marrying chicks that some lesser man has piped down. Can you imagine? You're making $3 million a year and you're taking sloppy seconds after a freaking gas station.
Insane.
Come on, man. Off of Madden King, dude plays Madden all day long, and you spent this entire time clawing and scratching your way to the very top. And she has a baby by Nug, and they expect you to swoop in and take care of him. Come on, man. Come on. What
it's funny you say that.
joke.
I'm doing a trip probably this August, and this chick that I was planning on seeing, I just had a baby last month, and I'm like, oops, I guess she's off my to-do list.
Dang. She still has the stitches up in there.
I know. And this chick trying to see me, I'm like, no, because I already know, you done got dick down, dick decimated, and dick, and dick dismissed by, Carlos. And now you got a bastard kid, and now here comes Secret coming to visit.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can, get him to sponsor me. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Guys,
You don't want to bust a load on that C-grip section, Scar.
Oh, let's go!
You nasty, Snowboy. You nasty.
Guys, here, check this out. This is what Doug MBA had said. Hold on. Look at this. Dads are helping out at home more than ever before. And what do we hear? What do we always talk about? The unpaid labor. The women. Look at this. Look at how much more men help out around the house. From 9 hours to almost 30 hours a week, and we're working more hours too. What a joke. What a joke. This guy says, every dad that I know has rearranged their work schedule to pick up kids from school. An investment banker had a baby strapped to him during a conference call. Look at that. Look at that, guys. But a woman needs to be paid to take care of her own children. Please. Demons, man.
And when I look at this slide,
because they don't think it's worth their time otherwise.
Yeah.
Think how sick that is in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you beat.
It's true.
I got you beat.
It's partly true. Go ahead.
In my late 20s, early 30s, I was dating chicks that had one kid, and I was, helping to take care of them. And in my mid to late 30s, I actually was seriously dating a chick with 2 kids, and I would, cook on the weekends, make breakfast, and oh man, I look at this and I'm just even sick when I think about, like I said, I used to be Seagrip the simp, and this was me working 60-hour weeks and helping to take care of other men's children.
Guys, here, look at this. This is an example of why modern women are modern women. Look at this. Victimhood breeds bad behavior. See this? People who see themselves as victims oftentimes feel entitled to mistreat others. The implicit moral logic seems to be, so because I've been wronged, I can do no wrong. By fostering negative emotions and a sense of entitlement to behave badly, victimhood can lead to selfishness, aggression, and even revenge, aka how women act, right?
Yep.
Look at this. Negative emotions, behavioral revenge, entitlement, immoral behavior. And then what does TIV stand for? Hold on. But yeah, look at this. This is how women are. That's all it is, guys. The patriarchy. And,
It's just gonna repeat
and
the
black
cycle.
people too. And black people. This is how we are.
Yep.
White supremacy, systematic racism, please.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna try and get some more guests on the show. You know what I'm saying? Have more conversations like this. Like I said, Paul, he was on Jeff St. James's show, and they had a good conversation. I recommend going and checking that out. But I'll try and have some more guests on the show, and also, it's cool that we're more lighthearted over in our part of the space, and Paul, he can joke on, but he's a bit more serious, which is good. So we can actually have that element here too. But it was great, man. Oh, dude, Vetti's in Austria. Hey, let's go, dude. Austria is another place that Austria. Hold on.
Yeah, and while you're looking that up, AJ, and Keyshawn, I think, I think about it, and I think one of the reasons why I was the way I was the first 3 decades of my life was because my stepfather was my father, and he was a good man, and he literally raised me like I was his, and even though he went on to have 3 more children, my mother, I never felt, I felt like I was the favorite. And because he stepped up when, my sperm donor, and I jokingly say that I didn't see anything wrong with being a stepfather, because my stepfather was amazing, and everything that all the positive attributes that I have about being a man, hardworking, a fighter, someone who provides, protects, provisions, who's an asset to his community and society. I learned that from him.
Hey guys, Austria has a based immigration policy. They aren't taking anybody in. They said we don't think so, and that's why their country's good. Because here you go. Check this out.
Never had an oil change ever. I think
I
oil
saw this
is a
today.
fucking scam. Why do you need to change the oil when you could just buy oil and keep filling it back up? Now, I know what you're gonna say. They fried me to bits when I posted this on Instagram, but you can't convince me to get an oil change. I've had my car for 4 fucking years. 2022, 3, 4, 5, 6, bitch. I live in Wisconsin. I've gone to Kentucky and back, Ohio. I go to Chicago like 6 times a year. I've never had a problem. Y'all keep telling me my engine finna blow. When? And my car runs and drives perfectly. So y'all have yet to give me a real reason why I need my oil change. I have never had.
Yeah, guys. Someone says, as a mechanic, it's good to see these people on the road. Look at that, guys.
And just real quick, guys, FYI, this chick has 2 of my red flags: unnatural hair color, and look at them gauges. Look at those holes in her ear.
She has face tattoos.
I didn't see the
Wow.
tattoo.
Face
I didn't
tattoos.
really see it, yeah.
Guys, hold on.
I'm driving right now. I wanted to get this thought out there before I forgot about it. But it is so annoying trying to make friends with other women or have discourse on the internet, because you can't. You can't. If you have an unpopular opinion amongst women, they will exile you and you will be painted as a pick-me, which is ridiculous. If you look at men, there is a huge array of different personalities, thoughts. They have discourse, they disagree, they talk about all this shit. Well, we can't do that. We can't do that, or else you're just a bitch. You get painted as an attention-seeking pigman. What? You wanna know why? It's because all of these bitches are so fucking insecure. They have no sense of self. They don't know what's okay or not okay. They have to wait for someone that they look up to, one of their social leaders.
Shit is hot. Green eyes too, man. How you doing?
Yep.
A snowboard. This is the type of chicks that you see in Colombia and the DR. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she cusses a lot, but if I wasn't around, let's just say there'd be something going in her mouth and not out. Oh!
I wouldn't be washing her mouth out with soap. Come on now.
Oh!
It'd be something else.
Hold on. There's another one. Hold on. Where was it?
You know why that girl
I'm really
didn't want
concerned
to
about
change her
this
oil?
generation of
Huh?
That girl didn't want to change her oil because she likes playing with the dipstick. Oh!
Look at this.
women who are married or in a relationship telling other women not to get married, telling other women to hate men, telling other women that they hate men, but they love the men that they're with. You have to be one evil woman to talk like that. Because why are you encouraging the hatred of men to heterosexual women who are attracted to men?
She's right. Oh yeah, Reza's right, guys. We'll have 50304's greatest hits. Yeah, because it's June. That's right, guys. That's right. Maybe we'll do Sunday. Yeah, we'll do an extra long stream on Sunday. Yeah, guys, we'll go over the best ones from January to now.
While you are taken, I am starting to think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I pay attention to patterns. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I think that this is copyright music.
Okay. I'm starting to think that women who are DL are sabotaging heterosexual women.
It's true. A lot of lesbians, right?
Yep.
That didn't want chicks. This was Snowboard. You weren't here the other day, so here. Let's. I'll show this, and then, guys, I gotta log off.
Yeah, I've seen it though.
Can a woman split a piece of wood? No. We're giving them by the end of the day to split a piece of wood for a vacation. Let's see if they can do it by the end of the day and trade for a vacation. Yeah.
Jesus.
They're gonna like cut their toe off too.
Bro, you're concerning me. The hospital's not nearby. I can give you guys to the end of the day and you're still like a crack killer. Just don't crack your head. That doesn't count. Who says that in a lifetime they would be able to crack that with the hits that they're making?
We're gonna do it.
How confident are you?
Shut up.
Did you go take a nap?
That's a good one.
I need one. What? Bro, that poor piece of log. Are we gonna have a fire today or?
Pathetic.
So what happened about women trying to camp alone?
We get wide wood. Who gets small pieces? Wait, it's not cracking. Well, the women are gonna do it.
We got a piece. So do you guys give up or what? What's the plan here?
This is our vacation.
No, don't touch it, David. This video is taking very long. You guys done or what?
Got a hot two on that thing.
Okay.
This one too.
Yes.
You sad, guys. Guys, I want all the men and the women in this chat because I know Sweet Auntie and Red Door. Guys, Red Door's out there killing moose with her bare hands. So we know that Red Door can freaking chop wood. Guys, how old were you when you first chopped wood? I was what? 9, 8? You know what I'm saying? Your dad gives you the axe. Here you go, and you're and then you actually get better at swinging. You know what I'm saying? And then you chop the wood. This is just ridiculous.
Right?
No.
This one here's pretty hot.
No, we don't give up.
Yeah.
And they're surprised.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, Henry says 10. Omni says 8. Well, Omni's Canadian, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. This is for
King George.
For-
I mean, the king has to stay warm somehow. Like
Anonymous. he isn't here, but have you seen? First of
Jesus,
all,
look at this.
Sister Mary
Oh my
Francis.
God,
Sorry for the jump
Jesus.
scare, guys. Look at that.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Wait, so why did you change your view on Stepdad's Green Giant? What? Oh, I think he's
I think
talking
he's talking to someone
to
in
you,
the chat.
Secret, about why you changed your views on being a stepdad. You had a
Oh,
stepdad, but
because
now you won't.
the time because at the end of the day, when you think about how women were back when he was a stepdad in the late 60s, early 70s, because I was born in 1971. So when you think about what women were like back then to where they are now, night and day.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
at
guys.
least-
My dad was my sister's stepdad. So my mom had a baby. I mean, had my sister when they first met. You know.
Mhm. And at least he got 15 good years. Well, at least he got, well, I'm not going to say good years, but at least he got 15, 17 years out of my mom.
Yeah.
And he had my love, respect, and admiration. As a matter of fact, I was on a snowboard show talking about my father, and Snowboard, timely jumped in. Don't you mean stepfather?
I did, but
Bastard.
but it's for a reason.
Yeah.
He deserves the actual credit.
Yeah,
The other guys,
and so-
he can't. You know what I'm saying? So like it was kind of a little bit of a dick thing to do, but the other guy
Yeah.
deserves the credit. The real
yeah.
guy who came in.
And,
You know what I'm saying?
and he was able to discipline me and everything. So no, he was my father. And when you look at how that dynamic was, the women that I was dealing with, not the same dynamic. And gentlemen, if I can give one bit of prescriptive advice, do not ever deal with an vindictive chick. When a chick that's vindictive towards her exes or her ex or anything like that,
But
don't
that's
deal with a
all of them.
vindictive chick.
Oh,
That too. Because it's only a matter of time before they turn that rage and anger onto you.
There you go.
Okay, how much you gonna cost to get my key?
So she locked her keys in the car, and he, knowing that people try stupid stuff, because look at who he's talking to, right? He has his meta glasses on.
It's 300 because it's a push start, right?
How long it's gonna take?
About 15-20 minutes.
I gotta get something out in this glove compartment.
Go ahead.
Oh my god, I see you carrying. Sir, was you just in the glove compartment?
What do you mean?
Was you just in the glove compartment? Did you go through the glove compartment?
No, I didn't touch anything. I'm just doing this. I'm programming it. What do you mean?
I'm missing money.
So now she's trying to say that he stole her money. Get the fuck out.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
And I forgot where the is my money at.
You think I really took your money?
Obviously it was in there.
Dude, don't. I'm a locksmith, dude. I can't do my work. I don't care for your money. I didn't touch it.
People can't steal. People obviously steal.
I didn't touch your shit. You really think if I'm gonna, yo, bro, chill. I'm a locksmith. If I decide to cross the lines, you're not gonna be my target, boy. I can unlock anything I want.
Call
the
police.
Call
Call
I
him.
need someone to come to my address because this locksmith just stole my money.
This thing must guard a bridge for a living. Jesus, look at how ugly this thing is.
Out of my envelope, and it was $500. I need somebody here now, please.
You really think I took it?
Yeah.
He's not Hispanic. I apologize. He's not Hispanic. He might be Latino.
It doesn't matter what I am. I'm a person. I'm a human being. Yeah, right, man. I'm a locksmith. Hold on. No. Let's.
She called. We talked to her first.
I respect everything. I have everything recorded. She's trying to avoid payment. That's what's up. That's the case here.
I've been doing this 14 years. Give me
Thank
a
you. I'm a locksmith. You really think I need your money? I'm not.
Interrupt again. I'm gonna put you in handcuffs.
Yeah, you need to chill out, bro. I'm just saying, just
Okay,
stand
I
there.
appreciate you.
At any point, did you go in the glove compartment and take 5?
No, but here's the deal, man.
That's all I need.
Yeah, never. Now you can search my car. All I have there is 20s, 10s, 5s. Okay.
I'm sorry.
This guy needs to shut up.
Every single person here is
Her
about to go
baby
to
daddy
jail.
just called and said
Hold up. Let us talk. We will come back and talk.
He took the money. The baby daddy took the money.
Yes.
Okay.
See that, guys? First of all, I don't think that there was any money at all. I just think that she was trying to get out of paying him, right? And now the only thing that this locksmith guy did wrong was he was crashing out.
Yeah.
I just said, I got this all recorded. You're a joke. All right, then call the cops. Matter of fact, I'll call them for you guys. When it comes to B-dubs, guys, the worst thing that you can do is crash out too. No thanks, you know.
Well, AJ, let the video play out because I'm pretty sure that they're not your typical B-dubs and they're going to apologize for falsely accusing him.
Now they should arrest her for filing a false report.
And I'm not trying to give you guys. Hey, I respect you all. I'm not trying to give you her.
I could be a big girl and apologize.
Oh yeah, we all know you can be a big girl. All right, you damn wildebeest.
I'm actually shocked she apologized.
Can you imagine them trying to plan this out? Is there?
AJ, can't just be me. Hey guys, put a 1 in the chat if you did not see an apology coming. I can't be the only one who didn't think they would apologize. Put a 1 in the chat if you're like me and didn't think they would apologize.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
How was that weird?
Okay, hey, look, we're off.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be able to agree on for services when we leave here?
Yeah, I'm a big girl.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, you are.
That's
That's
not.
the
Well, at least you're telling the truth.
I want to
that
write
part.
a good review on Google after that.
I mean, because he did.
Look at that, guys. So he was trying to do the right thing in this. Absolutely. I mean, guys, it's just ridiculous. So someone says, what's wrong with this asshole cop? Yeah, that's true. So, but all right, guys, I'll shut this bad boy down, guys. I'll be live tomorrow. Guys, we will react to Andrew Wilson being on that idiot live stream, right? And then Myron had to come in and cook them because they were just so guys, I told you that C Grip, Rajai, all of us, we don't go on predominantly black panels because they're just stupid, right? But Andrew Wilson was on there, and Andrew Wilson's the A side. I mean, if you were to come on my panel right now, guys, come on now. I have to make sure that no one disrespects him. But of course, Andrew's being reasonable, and all of a sudden, shut up, white boy! Shut up, white boy! So then, Myron came in and just started cooking everybody. Guys, we will react to that later on this week. But all right, guys, I appreciate you. Bye, guys. Take it easy.